Once upon a time, a small black dot, his name was Otto, was living in a world of thousands of dots in the middle of a philosophical book. The title was Who Am I? The whole book was full of small black dots. They were the guardians of letters. Every dot was the definitely end of an important sentence. Mostly these dots didn't move from their place until the end of their lives. And so it was for our black dot, Otto. One day, a small white dog jumped onto the book, which was lying on a garden chair close to the breakfast table. On the dog's belly there was also a black dot. The dog dot said, "Don't you want to come out of the book one day?" "That may be an interesting thought," replied Otto, "but what would happen with my sentence if I left it? Maybe it would lose some of its words, and nobody would be able to make sense of this important thought anymore." The dot on the dog's belly didn't understand at all what a sentence was, and looked at a fly which was flying around him. The fly sat down on the page and put her excrement close to Otto. The dog dot said, "Look at this small black spot. It looks exactly like you, a perfect small black dot. This is your chance." At first, little Otto didn't understand the meaning of the words the dog dot was saying to him. But then the words sank in and rolled like small balls through head and chest until they dropped into his stomach. When Otto realized the chance to leave the book, the balls began to dance in his belly and made him jump for the first time in his life. He jumped out into a world of billions of dots, spots and points, black and multicolored ones. Wherever he looked, he saw dots, dots and spots. In the eyes of men and animals, on leaves, flowers and butterflies, on cars and radios, on houses and trees, everywhere dots, dots and dots. When he looked at the sky at night, he saw a lot of gleaming, shimmering dots high above him. In the sunshine, he saw a lot of glimmering dots when the dust was dancing in the sunlight. Never before had he known that there existed so many different dots in the world. One day, he met a light blue dot in the green eye of a dark blue fish at the bottom of the ocean. The light blue dot asked him, "Jumping around, meeting other dots might be nice, but have you ever met a midpoint in the very middle of something?" "No," replied Otto. "Where can I find it?" "When you have found the center, you will know," answered the light blue dot. Then the fish disappeared. It was not as easy as Otto had thought it might be to find a center. The more he was looking for it, the less he came to meet one. One day he said to himself, "I should go back home, into my book, and forget this longing for meeting a center." A black dot on a ladybird's wing invited him to travel with him, and so he took the chance. One day the ladybird rested on a boat in a beautiful lake. An old man sitting in the boat was fishing. Otto wanted to jump onto the chest of the old man to have a talk with the small brown freckles on the man's skin. While he jumped, he felt as if he was dreaming. Slowly passing clouds and birds, he landed softly in the center of a tender flower. When Otto woke up, he was lying on the chest of the old man, feeling a deep joy. He could see the whole universe turning around him. he felt he was his own center. Little Otto was happy like never before in his life. Suddenly, the fisherman caught a fish, a wonderful dark blue fish with green eyes. A small light blue dot in the green eye of the dark blue fish said to Otto, "Now you know." The fisherman took the fish and threw it back into the water. It was on a rainy evening when the ladybird entered the open window in a house where a hot fire was burning in the fireplace. The book in which Otto had been living before was lying at the floor in front of the fireplace. The fly excrement at Otto's place had almost disappeared. When little Otto sat at the end of his sentence again, he suddenly knew what the book was all about. The little white dog lay down close to the warm fire. He stretched his legs, feeling very comfortable. The dog Dot at the belly of the dog said, "Hello, wasn't it interesting outside the book?" "Oh, yes, it was," answered Otto, and told the whole story about his journey. The time was passing, and every little black dot in the book knew now the story of Jumping Otto. A small neighbor dot asked, "You think we all could leave the book one day?" "It depends on the flies," answered the dog Dot. "Oh, no," said Otto. "It depends only on the thought about the possibility. Think about it, and you will feel all these jumping balls inside your stomach, which make you able to jump." Just in that moment, a strong wind blew through the fireplace inside the room. It opened the book quickly side by side and covered it with a coat of ash. The news about jumping out had reached every dot in the book. It was amazing. Every dot felt all these exciting little balls inside of itself, and no one could resist the feeling to jump. Again the wind blew through the fireplace and carried all small black dots outside into the white evening sky. The white dog barked as loud as he could to tell everybody what mysterious thing was happening with the book. But the owner of the book didn't understand anything. He took his book, which was covered with ash, and carried it cautiously to the balcony. When he juggled the book, something wonderful happened. All letters fell out of the book. They fell into the air. Some reached printing houses, some reached advertising posters, some tried to enter some pupils' exercise books, some flew into telephone lines or into computer programs. Some went back into the book. And as it works in the life of letters and small black dots, they never stop forming new stories. When the owner of the book went back to the fireplace, he turned the pages to look if they were free from ash. He didn't believe his eyes when he read the title of the book, OTTO The Jumping Dot. If you read this story now, be conscious that you never will know when the small dots want to jump again into the wide, wide world. So you better read it twice.